Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. This is virtual class of Pakistan International School Thai. I am Muhammad Yasin. This English class is for the students of grade 8. We are going to do chapter 12 today. This is our 20th video in this class. In our today's lesson, we shall learn to write the story Haste Makes Waste. In our today's lesson, we shall try to understand the passage given in lesson 12. We shall do exercises given at the end of this lesson. We shall try to understand the meaning and correct pronunciation of new words. We shall do exercise of novel and grammar. Yes, students. The story is A Faithful Dog and Its Master. Let us read it. There are two parts. This is the first part. Once there was a hunter. He lived in a village with his son. He had a faithful dog. One day the hunter went to city. He left his son at home. He left his faithful dog at home also to guard his son. A wolf came there. It entered the house and attacked the son. The dog attacked the wolf and fought with it. The fight continued for a long time, but the faithful dog was the winner at the end. The dog killed the wolf. In the evening, the hunter returned from the city. The dog was waiting outside for his master. When it saw him, it licked his feet. The hunter saw the stains of blood on the dog's mouth. He thought that the dog had killed his son. He became very angry. He took his gun and killed the dog. When he entered the house, he found his son safe inside the house, and the wolf lying dead near him. He wept bitterly. In haste, he had lost his faithful dog. We learn from this story, the lesson, haste makes waste. What does it mean? We should not be in a hurry. We should think before doing anything. We should take enough time to think before doing anything like a serious matter, if the matter is serious, as the hunter did. Dear students, this was the story. Now we are going to start our next lesson, that is in Malaysian forests. We are going to read about Malaysian forest. Before we start reading, I have noted here a few words. I would like to show you the meaning. Tread. Dear students, tread means to put your foot on. Tread means to put your foot on. Okay. Trodden is past participle of tread, and tread means to put your foot on anything. I think you know now what is the meaning of trodden. Sapling is a young tree. You can see it is here. Rattan means a tropical climbing plant. You can see in the picture also. Moth is an insect. You can see in the picture. Flap means to wave something up and down, especially like bird's wings when it is flying. Yes, students, this is the lesson. We shall start reading in Malaysian forests. The author of this book, Sir George Maxwell, describes in his stories the lives of both men and animals in the forest of Malaysia more than 50 years ago. Much has now changed, of course. There is no longer any danger of finding crocodiles in the lake gardens of Taiping, for instance. And many of the villages mentioned have now become towns. Yet much jungle remains and will remain for some time to come. This description of Malaysian forest is as true today as when it was written, and is also true of other countries beside Malaysia. Yes, students, we are going to read about the forest. But come down from the mountain peak and walk alone along a forest path. Though it is midday, it is very dark. The sun cannot pierce the thick branches of the giant trees, and so heavy are the shadows that the very green seems black. The air is fresh and cool, and there is an almost perfect stillness underfoot, except where the path is trodden bare, is a carpet of dead leaves and of sweet damp moss. The track upon which you stand is a foot or perhaps a foot and a half wide, and at the height of your body, the width of the open way is perhaps 3 feet. Daily use keeps back the forest creepers, and the path is only just wide enough for a man to pass. You could not ride even the smallest pony along it. This is the second part of our passage given in this lesson. To right and left of the path, the forest is a thick mass of trees with bushes and saplings. Between them, rattans and creepers of every kind crawl along the ground and among the trees. So thick and strong is the mass of creepers that when a woodcutter has hacked through a tree trunk, it is often kept upright, bound to the surrounding trees. After an hour's walk along a forest path, you might think that the forest contained no life of any kind. But if you sit on a fallen tree trunk and look around, you may see a little more. High in a tree and almost out of sight, you may see a flower, and lower down your eye may fall upon a spray of tiny orchid blossoms. There are few butterflies in the forest, but now and then, if you are by one of the openings among the trees, which are to be winged creatures. What paths are to us? You may see a moth or butterfly pass by, flapping its heavy silken wings. You seldom hear a bird, but if you are quiet and wait long enough, some tiny sunbird is a bird also, may come your way, or perhaps some strange bird with light blue eyes and an enormous tail, or a jungle hen may creep out from under a bush and scratch for ants' eggs in an open space where a tree has fallen. The only other thing that you will see except an occasional lizard will be ants. If you know where to look for them, you will see the tracks of 4-footed animals. But you will not see the animals themselves. Yes, students, this is the next part. Of course, there is more life than this in the forest, but it cannot be seen. You are in the center of a small circle whose radius varies from 15 to 30 yards. Inside this circle, you can see more or less clearly outside it. Everything is hidden. Even so huge an animal as an elephant is sometimes invisible as 15 yards and almost always invisible at 30 yards. Wherever you go, you carry with you that little circle. Outside lies the unknown. So little do you see that the feeling comes over you that you are in the midst of mysterious things, specially hidden from you. You imagine that you have no right to be there, and then you have a horrible feeling that from behind the tree trunks, watching eyes are looking upon you. It is bad enough at any time if you are alone and all is quiet. It is worse as the sun sinks and the light fades. It is worst if by any ill chance you happen to know that you have lost not only your way but your sense of direction. Yes, students, this is the fourth part. At all times you may see things happen which are hard to explain. Though not a breath of air can be felt to move, a palm leaf may begin to sway gently backward and forward, while the rest of the tree remains still. You examine the palm to see if there is perhaps a rat or some other animal at its base, but can discover nothing. Sometimes one single leaf among the numbers on a branch may begin to shake violently and no reason can be seen. Then it will suddenly stop. Dear students, these were the things that we read in the passage. We have noted so many things. I think you have got some understanding of the given passage. Now we shall start the exercise. The first section of our exercise is comprehension and vocabulary. In this section, we are said for each one of the following words, or perhaps find a word in the passage. We have to find the words from the passage having similar meaning. Wanted, top of a mountain, mountain peak. Noon, midday, go through, PS. Uncovered, open. Young trees, saplings. Creep, crawl, cut roughly, hack. Dear students, the words written here on the right side are taken from the passage. Small branch with its flowers, spray or blossoms. Marks left by an animal, tracks. Unable to be seen, invisible. Middle means midst. Dear students, this is the next exercise. In this exercise, we are set to answer the questions. First question is, what do you think the writer has been describing just before this passage began? The writer was probably describing the highland or mountain areas. Yes, when we start reading the lesson, we feel like that. Why is the forest dark? The forest is dark even at midday because there are so many trees and they are so dense that sunlight cannot pierce through the dense trees. Question number 3. Why do the forest creepers not grow over the path? Because always people are walking over there, animals walk over there, that is why creepers do not grow over there. Question number 4 is, when a woodcutter hacks through a tree trunk, it often does not fall. Why it does not fall? The tree trunk sometimes is held in place by the vines. Vines means creepers growing that wrap around it. Question number 5 is, why is it that while walking through the forest, you might think that there was no life of any kind? We might think that there is no life of any kind because neither we see anything nor we hear anything. Question 6 is, what must you do if you want to see signs of life in the forest? In order to see wildlife in a forest, we need to remain quiet and simply observe small things such as movement of leaves, looking to see what causes the movement. I'm sorry. Next question is question number 7. Explain what the writer means when he says you are in the center of a small circle whose radius varies from 15 to 30 yards. Yes, students, it means the person going through the forest can see up to 15 to 30 yards always, and he will feel that if he is going in a circle. Question is, you imagine that you have no right to be there. What produces this feeling? You feel like the place belongs to the creatures that live there. You feel that you are invading their home territory without invitation. Dear students, this is the 9th question. What do you think causes a leaf to shake even though there is no wind? Some animal must have brushed against it or moved the branch it grows from. Dear students, next is language structure, and in language structure we are going to read about noun class. Now we are going to practice using the different kinds of classes, beginning with noun class. There are classes that are used in sentences in the same way as nouns are used. As you know, a noun may be the object of a sentence. I have heard the news. A noun clause may also be the object of a sentence. I have heard what has happened. Dear students, when we said I have heard the news is a noun. When we said I have heard what has happened is a clause, and this clause is a noun clause because it is replaced by a noun. Yes, noun clause is a clause which is used in place of a noun, and clause is a group of words which has verb. This is the exercise. In this exercise A, we are set to complete each of these sentences by adding a noun clause beginning with that. He says that he will go to his bed. We are hoping that he will come soon. I know that you will succeed. I believe that Allah is one. Yes, students, these are the 5 sentences, and these are the next 5. Each one answer is starting with that. Number 9 is, for example, they decided that they would never go to the cinema again. 10 is, everyone could see that the boy was badly injured. Dear students, exercise B is complete the following sentences by adding a noun or pronoun and then a noun clause. Yes, students, here for example, they told us. Us is the pronoun that we were late. The teacher promised with him. This with him is the pronoun. In the same way, in number 3, this me is the pronoun. And in number 4, us is pronoun, and then there is noun clause. In number 5, him is the pronoun, and then there is noun clause. Yes, students, this is the way to complete this exercise. Next is exercise C. Change the sentences according to the example. Example is, that you failed was a pity. It was pity that you failed. Given sentence is the first one, second is the answer. Like this, all these are changed. How they managed, it is a mystery. It is a mystery how they managed. Question 2 and 3 are changed just like number 1, like the example. These are 4, 5, 6. For example, the sentence 6 was, how they climbed the mountain amazes me. It amazes me how they climbed the mountain. Dear students, this is exercise D. In this exercise, we are set to change the sentences according to the example. Example is, it is true that I was present. That I was present is true. Yes. Number 1 will become, it is certain that he is speaking the truth. That he is speaking the truth is certain. You will leave this it while writing the answer. In this way, you will write number 2 and 3 also. Number 4 will become, it is a mystery how he managed to stay afloat. How he managed to stay afloat is a mystery. Just like this, you will complete number 5 and 6. Dear students, these are the spelling. Spelling exercise is the one you are very much familiar with. The first word will become oxygen, second will become hydrogen, next will become nitrogen, are all gases. This word is gases. Experiment, paraffin, soluble, vacuum, the last word. Hydrochloric, temperature, alcohol, Bunsen burner, a lens, two lenses, phosphorus. These words will be completed like this. Dear students, next is useful words and phrases. Here you know very well. He said that, he disagreed, he declared, he shouted, he whispered. Dear students, all these words are similar to say, but they have different meanings. Here are words given: reply, state, plead, report, admit, suggest, warn, explain, exclaim. All these are to say something, but they have different meanings. Let us see their meanings. For example, reply means to answer. State means to officially say or write something. Plead means to say in a court of law. Report means a description of an event. Admit means to agree. Suggest means to say an idea. Warn means to tell someone that something bad may happen in the future. Explain means to make something clear. Exclaim means to say something suddenly and loudly. Yes, students, these were the meanings of all these words which we have used here in this exercise. He pleaded that he was innocent. He admitted that he was guilty. She suggested that we should go back on the next day. This is how you do it. He explained. Don't do it again. She warned. Number 6. The soldier reported that all was well. Look out, he exclaimed. The reporter stated that road accidents were increasing. I don't know, she replied. Dear students, this is the novel. As I told you in our last lesson, we read the chapter 4. This is exercise 4. In this exercise, we are set to find out true and false sentences. If a sentence is false, we are set to correct it also. This sentence, number 1, is false. What is wrong here? Here is written good, but it should be not good here. I have corrected it. The second one is corrected. First one is false. Part number 2 is true, already true. Part number 3 is false, and this is King George is wrong. It should be Bonnie Prince Charlie. We have corrected it here also. Part number 4 is false also. Here is written 1790. Here should be 1745. Part number 5 is false. It is written here, but Archil was still very rich. It is not like that. And now he has nothing. He was not rich now. 6 is also false. We have corrected it. The king in order to help him. No, Chief Archil in order to help. Number 7 is already true. Dear students, this is chapter 5 of our novel. I would like you to read it. I shall read one paragraph for you, then you will complete reading in your homework. In our next lesson, we shall do exercise 5. The boy with the silver button. I walked to Mull. I walked across to Mull. There were no roads to be seen, and the ground was soft and wet. I walked towards the smoke I had seen from Irad, which I learned was the name of the little island. After a long time, I saw a house in the bottom of a small valley. It was a long, low house. There was a little hill in front of it. When an old man sat smoking his pipe in the evening sun, he spoke a little English and told me that the Covenant had sunk, but that the sailors had swum to the... Yes, students, this is chapter 5. I want you to read it in your homework. In our next lesson, we shall do exercise 5. Dear students, this is grammar. I want to do one exercise today, the past perfect tense. It is used for an action which has begun before another action in the past. When there are two past actions, one before the other, the action farther from the present moment is given the past perfect tense. He left the college, it is in past. He reached home, it is in past. But we shall try to find out which finished first. First he left the college, then he reached home. Now, he first left the college, then reached home. From the present moment, the remoter action is left the college. First he left the college. So we say, he reached home after he left the college. This is the next example. Let us move to the exercise. Here, students, when he dash the bus, this is the given sentence. We shall complete it like this. When he had already boarded the bus, he realized that he had no money on him. Number 2 will be completed like this. Nida burst into tears the moment she had heard of her brother's failure in the examination. This will be part number 3. We shall complete it like this. I did not realize the damage until I had seen the destruction. Number 4 will be completed like this. Had you recognized her at once? Number 5 will be done like this. I had shut the gate when I heard the sound. Yes, students. This will be part number 6. The students not understand until the teacher explained. How will it be done? The students did not understand until the teacher had explained. Number 7 will be completed like this. He wore his shoes a year after had bought them. Number 8 will be completed like this. They were not able to make an omelette until they had broken the eggs. Number 9 will be completed like this. The fire had spread to the neighboring huts before they had controlled it. Number 10 will be completed like this. The patient had died even before they called for the doctor. Yes, students, this is your homework. Learn and write the story. Haste makes waste. You will learn it first, memorize it, then write it in your notebook. That will be your homework. After that, you will do all exercises in your notebook, including grammar and novel. We have done some exercises in the book. You will do all of them in your notebook. Then you will do one exercise from the novel that we have done. You will do it in your notebook, and you will do grammar exercise also. Novel, grammar, book. You will do all these exercises in your notebook. If you find it more to complete in one day, you can use the second day. As I told you before, there are 3 videos in a week only. You will complete the homework. You can use 2 days for one homework that I have given you today. Dear students, that is all from our today's lesson. See you later in our new lesson. Goodbye.